Wow, that's great advice because look, I'm hearing a lady who basically has charted her path and said, right, this is the direction I'm going, and come hell or high water, that's where I'm going. And it even, was obvious when you talked to me off air about your own defining moment, because I love this story and I'd love for you to share it with people so that they understand, folks out there, viewers, that like Melanie said, you got to fake it till you make it, but also have that fire in you to want to do it. So just tell us that story of your
Okay, I
defining
will. I would
moment.
love to. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share this. Back in the 80s, I'm really aging myself here, y'all, so I'm sorry about that. But about 1987, I was a young lawyer and I was kind of, rocking and rolling, going to some Christmas parties. It was a rainy, cold day. Judge calls me up and says, Melanie, I've just appointed you to be this man's temporary guardian. And I said, okay, I have to give up my parties. All right. He said, yeah, you've got to go over there. Adult Protective Services has determined that his nephew or his son, we're not sure how he's related, has taken his money. The lights are turned off at his house. There's probably no food. We don't know if he's in there. The son may have a gun. He may be on cocaine. We don't know, so it's a pretty dangerous situation. So I go down the courthouse, pick up my order, go get in my car, and of course I had a cell phone back then because I like to stay on top of technology. So I called 911 because it was definitely on the wrong sides of the tracks. There was literally a railroad track right there. I mean, it was like, wow. Okay, so I called the cops. By the time I got there, there was an ambulance, fire truck, cops, a whole big crowd of people. And so they went and knocked on the door, and they came back to my car and they said, I'm sorry, he's not there. And so in that moment, I could have just driven off and told the judge, well, I don't know. But the judge had made it clear that we had to find out whether Mr. Foreman was alive or dead and whether he was in that house. So I took my order, just this little piece of paper, and I really didn't know. This is where the fake it till you make it comes in. All I knew was I had the authority based on this order to get that house broken into. So I told that whole big group of men who were scary to me and older than me and more powerful than me. I looked at them and I said, let me just tell you something. This order right here gives me the authority to bust that door down. So I'm not leaving here until we get inside there and make sure he's not there. And they kind of looked at me like, are we going to fight her? Nah. They went ahead and busted the door down. And a few minutes later, I hear this voice, Miss Bragg, come in here. And they had the flashlights. And I looked inside. It was super dark. It was super cold. And there was this poor little man on the couch. He was completely deteriorated. He was covered in feces and urine. He was just screaming out, he stole my money, he stole my money. And I was like, Mr. Foreman, everything's going to be okay. They put him up on a stretcher and they were putting him past me. And I put my hand down on his chest, my hand on his head right here. And I said, and he was just, really out of it. And he was very upset, very distressed. I put my hand right there on his heart and I said, Mr. Foreman, my name is Melanie Bragg. I'm your guardian. I'm going to take care of you. And in that moment that I felt like this transference of energy into my heart, and I just said inside my head, I said, this is what I was born to do. This was what all those years of law school, all those years of college, all those waiting tables and all the sacrifices, this is what I was born to do. And so I've been blessed to have such a wonderful career and to help save people's lives like that.
Wow, that's an amazing story. I mean, I hear